Welcome back to the continuing saga of this SKS I pulled out of the river, hashtag river SKS. But this video is by popular demand and to also cure some of my curiosity. What we're going to do today is I've got the parts, select few parts needed to get this gun up and running, and I'm going to put all these parts on the gun, shoot it a couple times, and then revert back to an older part, and then shoot it a couple times, revert back to an older part, shoot it a couple times, so on and so forth, until we are shooting this gun in as original condition as possible. I say as possible because this gun as it sits right now cannot be fired in original condition. Trigger assembly is pretty much totally gone on the inside. The magazine is totally gone on the inside, so I will have to be using the new trigger assembly and the new magazine no matter what. Other than that, we might be able to revert back to some older springs, the original wood. We'll see what happens. So here it is in original condition. The spring somewhat works in there. It's in multiple pieces, but we're good to go. So the first piece we're gonna do is that recoil spring. And I'll get this to where you can see it. So see, normally it should just be all one piece, but due to where it rusted and where it broke, it's in multiple right now. So here's the replacement. Next thing we're gonna change out is the handguard, and I just have this Tapco handguard here. And we will change out the stock for this camel one that I picked up. And there's our wood stock. New trigger guard, or trigger assembly. And oh, I did miss a piece. Our piston spring in here. So it is also in multiple pieces. The piston was fine, but our piston spring had a break in it. So we will replace that with a new one. And while I'm finalizing this, I just want to thank all you guys that watched and commented, shared, all that kind of stuff. I would ask you to do the same on this video. I know it got shared on a lot of forums, a lot of different web pages and sites, and there's a lot of people that were really bummed that I didn't shoot it in the first video. So hopefully this video will make all of those people happy, and they'll be able to see that I shot it. So go ahead, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, just so people can see what happened with it. What do you think? Is this gun blub it out enough for you people out there? I know some people like bubbling them out, some people like the original wood. All right, so first up, this isn't going to be too exciting, but I have a bullet puller. I have kind of always wanted one, so I figured this is an excuse to get one. If you also need one, link in the description. Helps me out. Thanks, I appreciate you. But got a bullet puller. I'm gonna pull 2 bullets out and do 2 just primed cases. That way, if this gun decides to go boom, kaboom on the first real live round, I will have some cases with the imprint of the firing pin for further investigation. Stay tuned for more videos. Also, I wasn't able to get any stripper clips. The notches on the bolt look like they would still accept a stripper clip, but I apologize for not being able to get those. So right now I'm running Winchester white box 7.62 by 39, 123 grain. These are full metal jackets. So I'm going to pull 2 of these. Three good ones. Got primed case. Projectile. And your powder. Alright. Let's go ahead and pop these in there. Being that it's just a primed case, I feel fine just pulling the trigger on it right here. Safety off. It looks pretty gnarly on there. The bolt is pretty jagged, pretty pitted, so it left some interesting prints on it. Safety off. All right, so there are 2 primed fired cases. They look pretty rough. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens when we put a live round through it. And I chose these, just so you know, Winchester white box brass. That way, if the chamber is deformed or there's pitting or anything like that, the brass will form to whatever the chamber looks like. I don't know if steel case would do that. I brought some steel cased just for more tests if we got time and it doesn't go kaboom. But I wanted to see what the brass did in this chamber. This is going to be the moment of truth. I'm going to do 2, but I'm going to shoot 1 at a time because, you know, SKSs have been known to jump into full auto with slam firing, and I definitely don't want that happening right now. So I'm going to do 1 at a time, and then I'll load this up, switch my camera to slow-mo, and then I'll go back behind my truck and pull the string. Safety is on right now. So, down into the magazine. Again, this is 7.62 by 39, 120 some odd grain Winchester white box. She's live. Like that. Safety is off. String on trigger. I'm going to switch to slow-mo, and that should be the next thing you see. I was behind my truck. I wasn't really watching, but I heard a bang. Nothing looks destroyed. I'm not sure if it ejected or not. It did not. Doesn't look too... Nothing looks too crazy, so the chamber isn't crazy messed up. But I'll set that aside. We'll do another one. All right, so that one didn't eject either. Not sure what's going on up in the gas system. I don't know if I'm pretty sure the gas port, the hole, isn't completely blocked, because when I would run any sort of solvent or anything down it, it was coming out of there. So I'll kind of do some investigation, look at slow-mo, and we'll go from there. It appears that the gas port is blocked. Got some limited tools here. We'll see if I can get it cleared out, and I will go ahead and work on this a little bit, and I'll get back to you with an update. There was just a bunch of stuff that I couldn't get out with my cleaning techniques. Very hard, rusty, rocky, all kinds of stuff. And it's still pretty dirty. I mean, I'm sure I got dirt on my face and stuff from, you know, looking down the bore, looking down the muzzle. And before you come at me about looking down the muzzle, be ready for a video about the rules of gun safety that I've got coming to you. We'll be talking about that more. So yeah, I can run this this pipe cleaner now down through the gas port, and I will put everything back together, and we will run some rounds through it. I think it should cycle now. I'm going to change out the NC Star gas tube for the original gas tube, but use a plastic, black plastic handguard. And out. Original wood off. And I don't know if you can see on this gas tube. So here's where, like, the original vent hole was. It's been corroded out. That one's not too bad, but the entire bottom of the gas tube, giant hole in there. So should be interesting to see how that holds up. And that's why I'm doing the plastic handguard, because I don't want to blow that wood one up before I know what happens. And on the ferrule, and I just made a replacement pin out of a little nail. We are good to go. It'll be interesting to see the gases that come out of here. I might put a piece of paper down there or something so you can see the gases that escape. But I will go ahead and throw this back in the sled, and we will go from there. I slid this piece of paper just barely under the handguard. That way any gases that escape, we'll see what happens to this paper. And I'm just going to do one again for this time. Eventually I'll like to get more in there, but we're going to do one, and I will move to slow motion after I get everything set up. Alright folks, I'm not going to lie, that really surprises me that the paper all it's got is a little burn mark. That's it. So I'm going to do this one again, the same setup, one round, and I'm going to try the like ultra slow motion on my camera. It has to be motion activated, so I'm going to have it basically right on the bolt, and we'll see how that ultra slow motion goes. Same setup, same everything. We are going to go to original wood top handguard and original piston spring. It's found in there. Also, if you notice the garbage behind me, we're on BLM land. Keep your public lands clean, pick up your garbage, especially when you go out shooting. I mean, there's places littered with garbage. We'll pick up what we can, but public service announcement, pick up your garbage, please. Helps everyone out. So with the original piston spring, if you remember, clear some stuff out so you can see, is in two pieces, right? You got your new one. The two pieces, if I layer them, it just has like one break. So I didn't lose anything, but it just kind of has a break in the middle. Seems to be original length. So put that on. So I still should have all of the spring compression possible. So original gas tube, original wood, original ferrule, however you say it. And now we are good to go. Got the original wood, original gas tube, original piston spring, and yeah, we're getting there. I'm gonna load up 2 this time. Let's go original recoil spring first. And if you remember, this one is in pieces, like the piston spring was. And we'll kind of measure some overall length here. So there's our new one, our original, with all of its pieces combined. We're looking about 1.5 to 2 inches shorter, so it's probably definitely going to be slamming the bolt into the back of the dust cover here. And I don't know with partial springs if there's a correct order to put springs on. It'll probably be easier to put the smaller ones down on first. But as you can see, it doesn't have the normal like bound up curly Q pig's tail looking thing. And I'm gonna max all of these out as best I can so they're not like woven into each other. Get the most distance out of these springs possible. Back into the bolt. And I mean, obviously it's got some, but I not near as much as the new one. But we'll do 1 or 2 rounds like this just to see how hard the bolt slams into the back of the dust cover here, and then we'll probably go to the OG wood. Cycled just fine, and I reviewed the slow motion. It didn't seem unnecessarily violent or rough on this plate back here, so the only thing left is OG wood stock. Well, I've got this off, I'm going to inspect the underside of the barrel. And like I said before, the only 2 parts that I really won't be able to replace and have it function are the trigger assembly and the magazine. So I'll run a few rounds like this on the sled, see how it holds up, and we'll see what happens. Alright, everything seemed to do pretty good. I'm going to run 3 more like this with the string, and we're building up to something. I don't know what though. So things are working out pretty good. I am going to run a brush down the bore, clean it out, look at it, inspect everything, inspect cases, and I don't know, based on what I've seen so far, I don't have any qualms about shooting it by hand, but I have yet to inspect it, so I'll inspect it first and see how parts are holding up, see the chamber, see the bore, everything, and we'll go from there. Everything looks pretty good, so I'm going to do a little accuracy test. I have a target down there at 50 yards. It's basically a silhouette hanging upside down. So if it had a head and shoulders, the head and shoulders are at the bottom. And I'm going to do a 3-shot group. I have no idea where the sights are. The front sight was split in 2, and I JB welded it back in because it wouldn't thread in, so I just kind of JB welded it. So I'm down to the 3 last rounds of the Winchester white box. I might shoot a few of the steel cased ammo just to see kind of where I'm at, if I'm hitting way low, way high, kind of dial it in a little bit. It's Herders. 7.62 by 39, 154 grain soft points. So we'll go ahead and load a few in there. Looks like we got 1 on target, 2 on target. Oh, 3. Went through my post too. Alright, so it's shooting a little high. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna aim for the upside down head up here, and we should put them in the body. I'm gonna go 3 more of the Herder's steel cased. So my first 3 were 1, 2, 3. I now have 1, 2, 3 more right there. And I was aiming right about mid upside down head. So not bad. I'll try to throw in the Winchester in there. See if those make any difference. That'll be my last 3. And then we'll see what I'm gonna do with the Herders, the rest of those. This is the Winchester white box. Again, this is 123 grain full metal jacket. 3 rounds. All original except for magazine and trigger assembly. So I was aiming roughly here, and I got 1, 2, 3. So this at 50 yards, not terrible for a gun that's been sitting at the bottom of a river for who knows how long. But let's go see what we're gonna do with the rest of that ammo.